All right, good morning, folks. Morning, everyone. Last day of the week. If you didn't know, markets close tomorrow, last day of the week, and it's also OPEX. All right, all options expire today. With that, we got to expect a little bit of wonky movement, on the options chain, which means you might get some sort of nasty chops, some nasty little swipes, and some nasty moves for the theta, and to make sure they all lose effectively. All right, so as always, we're going to start off on the higher time frame chart, which isn't really looking too different right now. So let's dig into it in the daily. All right, we're still, all right, here's Monday, Tuesday. These levels here are key. Here's your weekly model doing it so far. All right, what is key though? We're finding support in this blue block, aren't we? This blue block has been here ever since Tuesday last week. All right, Tuesday last week. Resistance became support yesterday, became support again. All right, they're unwilling to let go of this blue block right now. It is absolutely key for bulls that they hold these areas, right? These are sort of the last stand for bulls to maybe produce that higher low on the daily, which will only get confirmed as a pivot if we can break out of this to produce the higher high. If they fail to hold this, all right, then you will have 1, 2, 3 sets of daily buys in here. If we get under this, you can imagine that move there wouldn't be that far away. All right, so on a daily perspective, that's where we're at. Looking at the current day, we're opening up inside previous day. Again, more chop expected all the time we're doing that. We also rejected 5-day, 20-day moving average. So we went from bull, reclaim 5-day, retest 20-day, back to 5-day, back to 20-day, back to 5-day, wash down yesterday, back to 5-day so far this morning, rejection. Chop continues. The chop continues. Moving into the hourly chart. And you can see here, first thing I've done is I've got an anchored VWAP off that pivot low yesterday, all right, to give us some kind of idea for those dip buys yesterday where they are. Currently, they're holding inside of Globex. Now, your Globex levels are right the way up here. Big range again, 18,600 down to 18,330. It's a huge range for Globex, right? We have this orange line in the middle, just an intermediate pivot. Rid of this intermediate pivot that we put in around 7 a.m. this morning. So waiting to see if it holds that and VWAP right now. If we look above, all right, remember we're not seeing current action on here because it's on regular trading hours on here, but we have 341, all right, which is basically Globex low, is value area low yesterday, value area high 750, point of control on both the volume and the TPO 570. So you can see as we go back down to the hourlies how key these levels are. All right, anytime we're going to get acceptance here or here, there's possible for that inverted head and shoulder or sort of quasi kind of look for a drive higher. Okay, it's possible that buyers want to step in. Now, the easier one, rather than this down here, it's possible that we get a dip buy opportunity off the anchored VWAP, maybe a little wash like this. If you miss that, and that's a hard trade for you, totally understandable. It feels very much against the grain right now. Then over Globex, all right, a push above and a base over Globex will possibly allow that move up into previous day highs, 18,871. Still plenty of juice in that. That's 200 points there, plenty of room to make money. You get through that, you've got gap fill potential basically up to 19,000. So plenty to play for today if they want to do the upside move. Big ifs and buts, but that's what's there. It's there if they want to do that move, it is there for it. If they can set a higher low. Again, if they start to fail, anchored VWAP, and they start to fail under here on a retest, we're going back to retest these lows down here at that point. But I would imagine they're going to do something like this. They're going to try and hold for this move because there's lots of liquidity up here for them to run for. It's what they want to do. In fact, they're already trying to do it right now while I'm talking. So let's get through this nice and quick. Into the main chart, you can see here overnight. Let's just go over what happened yesterday into overnight. Yesterday we had that chop for ages. There's your bull trap. Failure underneath inside back failed auction. We create this bear flag. We break down. We retest the IB. This is your A+ setup now. I wasn't at my desk at this point, unfortunately, but that is an absolute A+ setup. In a sell signal, underneath initial balance, we get a retest, bang, bear flag, bang, all the way back down into some daily time frame lows. All right, washed very, very deep yesterday. It was overextended and over exaggerated. How do we know that? Because before we get into 10 minutes before the hour, right here, right, there are shorts trapped. Here is the market on close in balance. Bang, straight back upside. Where do we go to? Higher time frame algo. All right, counter trend, higher time frame algo. We close back down. This level here now, key. All right, this whole block here, I would say 440 to 340, 100-point range, key for sentiment on the day. We hold that range. It has the potential to be bullish today if it can hold that range, basically Globex and PDC. So this wash here, if it can't hold this to go higher, it is welcome to do this. We can join in one of these for that move back up. If we get under here and we get stuck, it's very, very thin here on that squeeze up. It can go right back down to the low. So over under levels versus PDC and these Asia pivots right now. You're seeing the market attempt to hold this as a higher low already while we're talking. It's very unfortunate it's trying to do this before the open. We're looking for this move at the open, not before the open. Please just hold your horses, market. Don't you go squeezing too far. It's already putting in a fairly big move here, 50, 60 points already off that little Globex level here. Let's have a look at the VIX. VIX down to 30.78 right now. Let's just check out some pivots here. Still just chopping around in the VIX. It's very, very similar the last few days, just chopping back and forwards in range, very much like the market. So VIX is trying to produce higher lows still. I've got a little trend line in there. If we start letting go on the VIX and we test sort of previous day low and below, then market can get a squeeze opportunity. Everything I've just talked about exactly the same on the ETFs. Okay, you're getting the same levels, I'd say, on the QQQ. All the time we're holding 446 at pre-market low, and that afternoon after hours pullback 444 down to 443. Any hold of that can be bullish for a squeeze higher. On the SPY, same thing. Pre-market lows 427s all the way down to 426.50 and 424.70-ish. Any hold of that, again, potential for higher lows for a bigger flag for that move higher. It's potential today. Let's have a quick look at MAG and see what they're doing. How are we doing for time? Plenty of time here. Plenty of time here. All right, Apple gapping up. You can see leaving a gap. There's PDC gapping up again. Any base over here, potential for that move higher. Fade under here, we go back downside. It's going to be the same story on most the stocks we're going to look at right now, I would imagine. Same thing here. Microsoft, if you can base there, it has this rotation up for these levels possible. Failure under here, we go lower. Same thing. Amazon holding PDC. This move here, will that drive higher possible? Google, same thing. You're going to notice same thing over and over again. Possible. Meta, same thing. Gapping up. Possible. Inverted head and shoulder look. Possible move higher if they can maintain bids. Tesla, exactly, or Nvidia, sorry, same thing here. Hold of this. Potential move higher. Failure of this. We retest yesterday's lows. And Tesla, weaker of them, but still holding. Still the same thing versus these levels. This afternoon level here from yesterday, key across the market. That's going to be the sentiment key today. That afternoon close, that afternoon pullback, this box right here. All right, we hold that, we have upside. We get under it and fail, we go downside. That's your over-under level for the day. It's as simple as that. You don't need to overcomplicate it more than that. I'd be looking for dips all the time. We are above it or able to hold. I would be looking for fades. If we get below it, back test it and get heavy. This is annoying that this is going so early in the day here, but hey ho, it was an easy A+ setup while we were talking there off this Globex level. Sip of my drink and we'll get into it. Let's just check very, very quickly. Do we have some news headlines today coming? We already said we've got Globex. Let's have a look. We've got some bill auctions. Nothing else I'm really too concerned about. Everything's already come out. All right, so fairly straightforward day here. Fed balance sheet at the end of the day, but I'll be well gone by then. Right, so fairly clear day in terms of news. Obviously, headlines always around the corner. You never know what's going to be said. Look at the size of these candles. What is going on here? This market is wild. So let me just check a couple of headlines here, see what's just started to hit the wire. What I want to say today is, with it being OPEX, please be careful. All right, even more so than you have been the other days. You can see the moves, the range, it's big. The range is big right now. It remains big. We're still inside bars. It can still chop back and forth and back and forth. You saw yesterday, it took hours, all right? It took hours to build the liquidity yesterday, and then all it wanted to do was trap bulls. It took hours of doing this move here to get up here, for this to wash this, trap bulls, make them chase. It never retested and held for that move, and then we fade all day. All right, so once it gets enough trapped, it goes the other way. Don't be too bullish, all right? I am bullish all the time. You know, if we can do something like this, obviously I'm not buying against the grain, but if we can do something, some kind of bullish move, I'm interested. If we start failing these levels, okay, then I'm thinking about the short. But until then, I want to lean long biased if it will set up for me. Only if it will set up for me. Make sure you're going through your checklist. Do you feel fit and able to trade today? All right, are you on tilt? Have you drunk enough, eaten enough? Are you feeling well? Do you have stuff going on outside of the charts today? Please, please, please be honest with yourself. Save yourself the hassle. If today is not a good day for you to trade, if you're mentally not feeling up for it, if you don't feel physically well, get off the chart. Stay away from the charts. Let's do some good mornings. Oh, where does cough come from? Allergy season. Morning, Jeff, Logan, Coop, Ryan, Thumper, Kaladin. Let's move this over so I can read it on the screen. JD Florida Man, Trentry, Michael Pope, FamTab, Christy W, Array, Aga, ERF, Paul, TR, Brad D, Julian, Marek, Leron, Bowden. Come on, you Gunners. I know, come on, you Gunners. So happy with that. Got a bit stressed out when Saka missed that penalty, but other than that, great game. Morning, Willa, Kevin, Brandon, Vince, Cat, Raphael, BU, Andrus, Mindful Matters, Mr. Slim, DJ Noah, Mike, Andrew G, JJ, Gus, Tom, DPFW690. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. All right, so you got the game plan. Now we just have to wait to see if it plans out. Morning, Ash. Morning, West Coast Doggos. All right, let's just see them. Book still looks kind of thin. Where are we going to open up here? 490s. 490s. Above or at those single prints from yesterday in the TPO. That point of control going to be key, I think, for sentiment as well. Let this shake out. And we'll go from there. See what we get if we get a nice opening drive this morning. Maybe we get a big flush down for them to trap short. So I wouldn't mind that. Would not mind that. But let's just see. Remember, OPEX, please, please, please. Remember, it's OPEX. Yes, markets are closed tomorrow, Tom. No trading tomorrow. Trump and Melanie to discuss defense, energy, and shipping today. They will also discuss tariffs. Okay, fantastic. Brilliant. So we've got Trump discussing tariffs today. No time on that. Want to be careful for that. I'm going to keep repeating. It's OPEX. It is OPEX. Be very, very careful in OPEX. No worries. Ryan, am I on an M5? I was. Yes, I was on an M5. Ignore that. Back to an M1 now. All right, market opening here in 30 seconds. We've got this anchored view up. If you're wondering what this blue line is, that is off previous day low. We pivot when we found some buyers. It's the average price of buyers from yesterday. So somewhere in here, I expect some buyers to start participating. We can do this a little bit higher. Let's just see what we get at the open and we can go from there. 2, 1. Here's the open print. Mixed bag on the mag from the looks of it. Most of it green. Nvidia in a sell right now. Rest of the mag green currently. Remember, expect choppy action on OPEX. I'm going to keep saying it. Expect choppy action on OPEX. Let's get this in. There's our New York Open. Do not be forcing your way into this. You've got a nice long weekend ahead of you. All right. Even if today's a no trade day, if you've had a good week, most of us in the stream have had a good week. You do not need to force your way into this chart. All right. If it's going to be a choppy, horrible day, be nice and patient. ES finding a bid early this morning. Trying to back test its view up to see if it can get up there right now. Q's going the other way. Tesla, the only weak one right now. Nvidia, the only weak one right now. Tesla just under 0.5% up. Nvidia just under 0.5% down. Meta 1/3%, now 0.5% up. Google 0.75% up. Amazon 2/3%. Microsoft 2/3%. And Apple 1.18% up. All right, so most of the market green other than Nvidia. Remember, we're looking to see if dips will hold this morning in front of either this anchored view up or PDC or Globex down here. Maybe we do a failed breakout of those. That's also okay. If we get heavy under here, then I won't be thinking about longs at all. Will not be thinking about longs at all if we're going to get heavy under there, because then we're going to go and retest previous day lows if we're going to do that. There's a big wash down here. It's a big drive into the anchored view up off previous day low. Currently being absorbed for now. Not much on the tape here, folks. Really, really not much on the tape here at all. Biggest order right now is a 40 block down at 400. I'm going to get a tissue here while this opens. Already got my nose. Morning, Aid. So currently, NQ the weaker of the two. Nvidia leading the charge to the downside. 0.8% down right now. Finding a bid here off that anchored view up there. You can see it's a big, big level. That anchored view up from yesterday. We've now swept the first, don't do that. First levels of overnight. Next move, if it's going to stay heavy, will be to come and backtest Globex. Remember, this orange box is Globex. This line here is PDC. If we find bids in front of there, potentially looking for dips. If we don't find bids in front of there, then I'll be looking to join trend for a move back down towards the lows all the way down here. Long way down, isn't it? It's a long way down if we're going to do that move. So just letting this shake out. First 5, 10, 15 minutes, plenty of time. You're only 3 minutes into the day. If they protect PDC, potentially dip buying opportunities. If they don't protect it, potentially we're going all the way back to those lows that we put in yesterday. Remember the range down there, very, very long way away, and it's very, very thin down to there. Very thin. Because that afternoon spike we had off the lows, it was basically straight up. There was a major lack of structure in that move. Nvidia now 1.25% down. Tesla finding some sells as well. Amazon fighting it at its PDC level. The whole market right now fighting at PDC levels. That's what the market's doing. Fighting at PDC levels right now. Trying to get Ninja sorted so it looks the same here. Yes, finding a bid. No one's closed the gap yet. Waiting to see if we get a gap closure first. watching these spiders. They're underneath previous day, overnight low right now, pre-market low. I want to see how we act when we come into that afternoon session from yesterday. Does it find bids in and around here soon? If not, then we can possibly expect it going all the way back to the lows. Market's starting to roll a bit here. Amazon now 0.25% down. Meta pretty much flat, but it is red. Nvidia 1.5%, Tesla 0.5%. How far low? How far lower do they go here? Do they find bids here after looking for a gap fill into Globex? Do they sweep Globex and look to trade back upside? Or are we going to keep going all the way back to the lows? Oh yeah, thank you, Coop. Oh, we'll do that. This one is dark blue. They're trying to find a bid, still not fully closed the gap yet. You would expect it to want to close the gap. It's that close, it might as well go and close it and then see how Asia lows sort of how they respond. Very close to closing the gap, getting there. Letting this shake out. VIX having a push to 3150s here. If VIX starts breaking out, we're going to go lower here, but VIX is just sort of basing. I want to see this gap get filled, and then I want to see some bullish structure come in. Right now, we're very, very bearish. It's a decent move down. Already 115 points in the opening 7 minutes. I want to see sort of a wash and a recapture. That's what I'd like to see. But you're getting a very mixed bag here on the Mag 7. Mag's starting to roll a bit here. You want to be careful. Very close to PDC. ES and SPY not there yet. QQQ very, very close. NQ very, very close. Remember, under PDC, we have Globex down into here. So far, just washing at the morning open print. These are big levels that we're going to come into down here. How are you not closing that gap? Come on, don't get that close and then leave it open. Tesla 0.17% down. Nvidia 1.4% down, 40% down. Meta 0.15% down. Amazon just under 0.5%. Microsoft now testing its gap. Gone green to red, trying to find a bid there. Google 0.5% up. Apple 0.5% up. So everything coming back to back test those levels we talked about pre-market. They need to find bids here. If they can't find bids here, it would be a problem. The Avram, yeah, I post my P&Ls. I tend not to do it too much because I actually feel like it will cause a bit of tilt in other traders where they try and push too hard. But yeah, I do occasionally post my P&L. Normally I post them when they're moderate or even losses, when they're small losses, to understand it's not too much. But I don't go and post my big winning days all the time because I think that just encourages the wrong thing. All right, so closing the gap here on the Qs, watching to see if the spiders and the ES is going to do the same thing here. We have closed them on the Qs. I want to see the spiders do the same thing. These are big, big levels we're trading into here. If the market's going to catch a bid down here, it's going to do it all together, I would say. Again, failure to catch a bid here, this will be the short back down towards these levels down here. All right, if we can catch a bid, I'd like a little trap and something like that would be possible. Don't just bid straight off it. Come on, market. Don't you get too aggressive upside here. Let's go a little bit deeper. Set some form of trap first, please. Yes, still not closed it quite yet. Need some more water. I've run out. ES trying to find a bid here. Everything's gone red other than Google and Apple. I want to see those sort of close their gaps as well. And then I want to see the whole market find a bid together. Dreamboat scenario. All right, now momentum since the open downside, isn't it? Momentum since the open downside. I need some water here. Where is my water bottle? This is not good. Throat is killing. There we go. Sorry, folks. Allergies are getting me, clearly. All right, it's trying to find a bid here at PDC. It's a shame that ES hasn't closed the gap yet, but it is trying to find a bid here. I would like one more wash lower first. I'd like some form of trap first, rather than this just straight pump up. That's unfortunate. If you took bids there off PDC, fair play. Not a trade that I love with that momentum. Let's see now if we can start to reclaim. Let's not draw on the charts everywhere, Alex. All right, big old squeeze back upside there. They're protecting PDC. It's a shame that ES didn't close the gap. Market trying to find some bids here. Like I said, I'd like one more sort of trap lower, but I will consider dips now if it's going to prove. If it's going to prove. Need it to prove, though, because this can still go lower if it wants. This can be just a squeeze up to go lower right now. Again, ES hasn't closed its gap yet. ES has not closed its gap yet. Starting to bang against that anchored VWAP. These VWAPs, New York VWAPs and anchored VWAP off the low, the dark blue one off the low, are going to be key, I would say, for what we're going to do remainder of the day. Does ES want to drive back down and go for a gap close? Or are we now going to start pushing highs? We're about to find out, I'm sure. Our dip's going to soak off here. ES trying to push upside here. Can the Qs join in? Sensitive area still very, very early in the day. SPY back to its VWAP right here, right now. If it gets a squeeze through, we might go upside in this market. If it rejects it, we're probably going to retest the low of day. So it's trying to build that flag out. It's still very, very early, but it's trying to build that flag out to go higher here. It's what the market is attempting to do here. Looking to join this long now for that squeeze upside. Stop already in the money only because we are so early on this. If this wants to wash back down, it can. This is not my ideal setup. Ideally, it would have done this to do it, right? It would have done this, closed the gap on the ES, and then set this move, which is why I'm very, very concerned. We're counter trend here, but I'm just looking to see if we're going to do that rotation. Already out now. So maybe we get that A+ scenario here where ES closes the gap first. Maybe we can get down and do one of these. Some sort of trap under here would be most ideal. Most ideal. As soon as it didn't hold that, I was out. It can always rejoin in if it proves itself. Sensitive areas here. You can see if you look at the ETFs, if you look at yesterday where we closed, all right, we're all around that area. That spike yesterday, this is key. That spike yesterday, can we hold this area? Went over at pre-market. There's the spike up. It needs to hold this area for that rotation higher. Failure under here, I'm going to think short. My bias will change if we start to fail under there. Market starts to rotate and stay heavy versus these levels. I'm looking for a short. Otherwise, I'm looking for a trap to get long into. Break even on that first one. I'm down. I actually got some slippage there, so I'm down a whole $4 on that. Let's see. Like I said, stock went in the money very early because I knew it was early. I know I'm going against the flow zones there. I was just looking for a rotation. Made 500 might call it. There you go. That'll do. So your orb now set. Those trading on the flow zones, your orb right now here to here. That's your opening range. You have 127 points in that orb. Here's the retest of this. I'd like this to actually move lower here to create a form of bear trap. I have an ATM where I have a fixed stop, but I move it straight away placed on the pivots, and then I have hotkeys where I want to move it break even, or you can do break even +1. You can offset your break evens like a tick or something to try and cover like any slippage or the cost of the trade. All right, maybe we're going to get that bear trap now. Ideally, let's see. Market's trying to actually go green. Tesla's holding on here. Meta's holding on here. Google's gone green. Apple's still holding green. Amazon dancing. Microsoft dancing. They're all on red to green levels right now. Just let this shake out. Ideally, it makes some form of bear trap. We close the gap on the spiders and we find bids. That's what I'd like to see. I will flip my bias if we stay heavy underneath Globex. So I'm not going to be bidding on this underneath Globex if we're staying heavy. I'm going to be looking for shorts if we stay heavy on. It's just my bias today. There's two things it can do. It can trap underneath these levels or into these levels in Globex. It can do some form of trap here to get long, or it can reject here to come all the way back down there, because this structure here is very, very thin. Look at how we moved up yesterday in the final 10, 15, 20 minutes. It was basically straight up. So now we've actually dug under PDC by a tick. I want to see ES do the same thing. I want to see it fill that gap. It's close enough. Need to see it fill the gap. Like I said, that wasn't the best long that I was looking for there. It was an early long, which is why I was aggressive with my stop. Because what I want to see, the A+ long will be if they both fill their gaps and then we turn. Watching VIX here at 31.50. That starts breaking out. This long is going to be off the table. We're multi-time frame bearish right now this morning as well. Just pay attention to that. Don't bid against it. Just let it set up. Let it do a trap if it's going to do it. And ideally, then we start to reclaim VWAPs. We start to reclaim flow zones. We can start bidding in with trend. Come on, market. Come on, ES. Get down there. Give us the setup we want. Get down. Really want to see ES trade to 305s, maybe down to 295s. VIX rejecting that 31.50 again here. This is what I want to see, but I want to see the ES close the gap and then VIX do that move. They're going to make this tricky. Can already tell they're making this tricky on structure. Unsurprising, given that it's OPEX today as well. Expect this to be not the easiest session, given that it's OPEX. Back to VWAP, reclaiming. They're going to make this tough. They are going to make this tough. You can already tell. ES unwilling to close its gap right now. It's left that gap slightly open. It's not A+ when it does that. Yeah, the 4 o'clock close on the ES. So the 4 o'clock close would be 305. 5,305. That's the gap. That's the efficiency. because options traders and cash traders stopped trading at that point. So when I'm looking at PDCs, I always have them programmed to 4 o'clock. That's how I like to trade them, basically on the ETF closes. So if you looked at the SPY or the QQQ, it would give you the close. You see on the QQQ, we've tapped the close. On the NQ, we've tapped the close. On the SPY, we have not. On the ES, we have not. So that decent stuff there on the VIX from 3150. This thing wants to get going now, and it's going to try and squeeze. Are we going upside here? Joining this because I'm not going to miss this trade. Reclaiming flow zones, reclaiming VWAPs. Here we go. So pre-plan from the pre-market working out here. How high can we go? Looking for a trade up to at least that New York Open now. Annoying that we didn't get the trap, but, you know, can only play what's in front of us. Like we talked about in that voice note yesterday, Discord, we have to be a disciple. We said we're looking for dips off here. There's your W. There's the join. Any pullback in that holds now. We're looking for further upside moves. Ideally, it doesn't go straight slingshot upside here. There's New York. I knew it was going to be a pain today, but there we go. It would have been nice if ES closed the gap, wouldn't it? There's the New York session into that New York VWAP up there. So locking some in there. Can we get dips that hold now? Do we get dips that hold now for a full rotation higher? Want to be careful if we keep rejecting VWAP, remember. VIX trading back down towards low of day. Are we going to absorb here? Here's the flush down. It will need to hold sort of 50s, I would say. 53s, something like that. Otherwise, it could be just a squeeze out to go lower. Remember, ES still has not closed its gap. I'm going to keep saying it. ES has not closed its gap. There goes the ES, trying to go upside now. Straight squeeze. This is messy, messy, messy action, folks. This is not ideal, but we're holding 50s like we just talked about. We're holding VWAP like we talked about. We're stuck between the two VWAPs right now. All right, stuck between New York Open overnight, and this is VWAP off previous day low. So if we can hold here, we have that chance to move higher here. Failure under here. Remember, ES has not closed this gap. ES has not done the gap close, but my bias is upside. It remains upside today. Some sellers hit into 500. How long have we got until the new hour bar here? 7 minutes. Market all green now. Only thing lagging is Nvidia. So the only thing lagging right now is Nvidia. Can we get through VWAP here? Right into that lower time frame algo on the ES. If we start breaking that, we're going to go upside here. If we can get through New York, we're going to go upside here. Market wants to go upside. It's just whether it has the juice to do it right now in one move. Again, the worst thing about this move is that ES has not been efficient. It's the one thing I don't like. Rejecting that New York Open and VWAP. We start reclaiming that. You have a squeeze back up to Globex highs here. Very, very possible. Just trying again here. It's rebuilding that flag like we talked about. Still holding. Lovely. There's VWAP. Can we get through this opening range high? 509s. Let's get going here, market. Come on. Stop fanning around. Just break out that high. Opening range high, 509s. Looking for a break of 509s. And then we can start this squeeze up maybe to previous day point of control, etc., etc. Oh my God, it shouldn't really be this hard to get through that opening range high. Come on. What's lagging? Nvidia lagging behind here. This really shouldn't be this hard. ES has already done it. Broke its orb high. So we traded right into that opening print right here. That's the high of session. So if you're looking at the orb right here, Rejecting that so far. I still think it needs to build to go up. That's what it wants to do. It wants to trade upside. And again, the only danger is the ES has not filled its gap. That's the only thing making me feel slightly uncomfortable. Otherwise, I'd just be going, let's sling this long big time. There's still any pullbacks. I'm looking for them to hold. You would not want them to really break this structure here. You'd want this to do this move here right now. Into here, it gets sloppy and I'm not interested. QQQ rejecting its VWAP right now. Cannot get through it on the Q. SPY's comfortably over it. ES over it. In Q, this VWAP up here, definitely essential. Need NVIDIA to get going. NVIDIA, the lagger today. The only one red, 1.25% down. Everything else closed its gap, found bids, and is looking to go upside right now. Can NVIDIA join the market? Can we get that break through the opening range? We've got 4 minutes left until the new hourly candle as well. Need to be aware of that. This hourly candle is starting to look good, though. Nice long wick on the bottom. As long as we close high, we've got something to play off and risk off. So starting to see some heaviness come in. Back down to those key levels. We said 50s. Needs to hold 50s for me. Not interested. Not interested now. Let it go deeper if it wants to go deeper. Can rejoin on the way back up. So locked some in there. Would have liked to seen that just squeeze through the opening range high, but couldn't do it. Missed my TP at the high somehow and then stopped me out in the money on the ARB high. Yeah, it's very annoying that missed it by a tick, didn't it? It will, or it should look to build liquidity to trade back through that now that we've left so many stops up there. You would expect it to do it. Again, my bias is upside. I'd feel way more comfortable taking upside trades if ES had closed its gap. Way, way more comfortable. These are early trades still. Technically, we're bearish in this market, but we're looking for this turnaround. Technically, we're bearish in terms of the flow zones. We're still in a downtrend here. We're into areas where I was expecting buyers to come in. We've had a couple goes. 3 50-point moves, protecting the gains and bowing out. Nice, jaking up one. Nice work. Yes, back into these key levels. Back underneath the VWAPs here. Need to be careful. Or back to the VWAPs at least. Previous day low VWAP. And the New York VWAP, we're now 50% pullback in this orb. It's not a nice position to be trading in right now. Where they're positioning this is not ideal. Do not want to be trading mid-range. It is not ideal. Flow zone starting to flatten out. Everything I don't want to see. That had a chance to get going through that orb high. Couldn't do it. It had the chance to do it. Couldn't do it. Going to remove this now because we've washed under this. We don't need to see this anymore. What are we doing here, market? It wants to go up. It's the efficiency of the spiders that it's worried about, I think. Yeah, 500, big psychological level. I still think it wants to trade through that. But yeah, it's New York Open. It's current point of control on the day. It's just below the edge of an old value area low into 531. Like, I do agree with that. But I think market's trying to get all the way up here. It's just got to build the liquidity to get up there. It's just making it very, very hard to do it right now. And there you go. It's trying to hold this high low off these VWAPs. You can see these are huge levels. ES having another attempt now. It's trying to hold the flow zones. It's just a little bit early. How long we got to a new hourly bar? Oh, I don't like that. Like 10 seconds, 15 seconds. I don't like that. What's this hourly bar going to do here then? New hourly bar here, new 4-hour bar. Driving back down. I'm leaving this alone for a second. Let it build out. We can join when it starts to prove itself. This is choppy. This is choppy. Inside opening range, inside Globex. Flow zone starting to flatten out. It's had its chance to go and do the move, couldn't do it. Nvidia now 1.72% down. It is pulling the market down here today. Nvidia off that news that came yesterday. It's pulling the market down. Does the New York open trend line go above the candle body? It goes on the exact open. It goes on the open. So the open was the top of this white bar. It goes on the open. That's your open print. Now the market going to get going, is it? Oh, are we going to go now, market? What are you flipping doing today? VWAP key. I think if we start getting through this, we can really go for these Globex levels above us. This is just making it very, very hard here. Watch your ATRs as well. That's a 40, 50 points it keeps pushing every now and again. You want to be careful. ES having another attempt here. Come on, get through this now. Start going. Approaching New York again. Approaching VWAP again. I just want one big swipe up here. Straight through the orb, through 510, and then start building out structure up there to go upside. Oh my God, really? It really should not be this hard, folks. It should not be this hard. No one on the tape up here until 500, and that's only a 40 lot. It should not be this hard for this market to get going upside. ES at VWAP now, trying to base at VWAP now. Yeah, I did, Willa. Yeah, it's OPEX. This is what happens with OPEX. I'm probably going to give myself one more shot at a trade here if it sets up, and that would be it, because it really shouldn't be this hard to get going. Clear draws of liquidity, clearly close the gap. It should not. What I do not want to do is just dance around VWAPs all day. That is a sure way to give money back to the market. I'm going to give this like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. Let it shake out maybe to the, maybe 30 minutes until we get the IB set and then see what it wants to do. Because this is, this cannot make its mind up. What's interesting is when Qs are trading weak downside, if we're going to do that, you'd want ES to trade weak with it and go and close the gap, and it's not. Microsoft now gone red on the day as well. It's a pretty deep move there. Yes, still finding bids. So if you look at the position of where the Qs are and where ES is still holding on. VIX now trying to get going. Oh, you just got to laugh, man. What a market. What a market. Oh. Yeah, I kept saying that, Willa. It's the only issue, isn't it? We've not filled the gap on the ES, but it's got relative strength. It's not moving back down towards low of day right now on the ES. Banking sector's been strong on earnings. But imagine that's why. What my wife's doing, smashing the kitchen up. Muppet. Honestly, can you guys hear that? All right, ES having another go here. Are we going to get going now? ES back to lower time frame algo. Above the VWAP, does it find a bid here? If it doesn't find a bid, we chop all the way back down again. If it finds a bid, maybe it drags the cues up with it. No idea what it wants to do right now. There's nothing to do with me. That's her trying to make my dog's food. Dropping the bowls everywhere. I know that sound all too well. All right, ES trying to find a bid off VWAP. We're just dancing middle of this orb range. My bias still is that it wants to go upside again. The only issue is that ES didn't close the gap. The ES has relative strength here. VIX failing that last attempt through 31s. And this is continuing to chop around. But I still think this ultimately is trying to go up. So, whoa, ultimately it's trying to go upside. And now we get some fails. Let's see what happens. Are they going to go for new lows here? Is ES now going to close its gap after all that nonsense? Buyers giving up here by the looks of it. So I've got 1/3 attempt left in me if I want it, but right now, nothing here to trade. Maybe ES is going to close the gap now, would be my thought process. Now this is bigger momentum to the downside. All those bulls had the chance like we were looking for that move. It didn't come. We had one attempt here, one attempt here. It doesn't work. Now we wait. Here's PDC. We're going to wash PDC because ES is probably going to try and close its gap now. If I wasn't trading today, what would I be doing? I don't know. No idea. Go for a gym session. Make some food. Walk my dog. Read a book. You gotta love OPEX. What a crop of shite OPEX days are. How many puts and calls can they burn at the same time? Is the course for the US? Guess so with the time difference. No, it's for anyone. It's 40 hours on demand. It's not just it's technicals. It's how to understand how the market moves. It's not just for futures. Use it for anything. Once you understand how the market moves, you can use it for anything. My system will work on stocks. It will work on FX. It will work on commodities. Whatever you want. Very, very broad because it's a system based on structure, based on psychology, based on key principles of a market. It's definitely not just for US traders. Plenty of traders in my room from all around the world. Testing PDC again here on the Qs. Again, why is the ES not moving down to close that gap? A Trump indicator. What does it do? You let me know what you want that Trump indicator to do. The chop continues here. You would expect ES to close its gap, honestly, and it's being unwilling to do it. You would expect ES to try and close the gap here. Yeah, it was a good game, wasn't it, Aid? I tell you what, Mbappe was annoying me. How's he diving and we get a yellow card and they give the penalty? Then they realise he's dived and he doesn't get a yellow card. Someone explain that to me. How's he fouling as much as he does, but then he gets tapped and he rolls around? If I was playing that guy, I would 2-foot him straight through his knees. Just absolutely Eric Cantona or Roy Keane him and clean him out. Be like, mate, this is a foul. Watch. You're on the sidelines. He's a twat, man. Cannot stand him. Little frog. Frog face. He looks like Pepe the Frog. Cannot stand him. He's so annoying. Arrogant little prick. Pardon my French, but he is. Die-hard Arsenal fan here. Can't talk about anyone else in good light. What are we doing, market? What are we doing? Can you do something here, please? Jesus. This is terrible. At this point, it should trade downside, and it doesn't. It doesn't want to. ES is right back to VWAP here. Where is the gap? And the gap we're referring to is PDC 306, 305, 306 on the ES. What? This is crazy, man. If they send this now, I don't know what. I don't know what. Imagine they just do a 100-point swipe up here now. Let's set this out. This is nonsense. Nonsense. We're just doing VWAP chop today. That's all we're doing. Chopping between VWAPs. Take care, Aid. Have a good weekend. All right, maybe now they've got the liquidity to drive lower. I don't know if they're going to do this sort of head and shoulders type of look. Maybe now they've got the liquidity to do it and come under here. If the ES is willing to close the gap. Remember, Globex lows are at 345. It can trade down there if it wants. I'm just watching the ES and spiders to see if they're actually going to participate in this. Initial balance coming in 15 minutes here, folks. Market's starting to go red here. Everything now red other than Tesla and Apple. Starting to see a bit of a bleed here. Most of them are pretty close other than Nvidia. Nvidia's dragging this market down. It cannot shift and shake that news from yesterday. Meta, 1/3% down. Google, 0.02% down, almost green. Amazon, 1/4% down. Microsoft, 1/4% down. Nvidia, 2.35% down. Tesla, 0.38% up. Apple 0.85% up. They're the only two of the Mag 7 green right now. The rest of the market has gone red. We were looking for that green to red move to hold to drift higher. At the moment, unable to hold. And we are in major time decay type scenario on OPEX by the feel of it. Bowden, I meant doing the course. Is it e-learning or do I teach it? What do you mean? Of course I teach it. But it's on demand. I don't understand the difference there. What's e-learning? Would that be me not teaching it? I'm not, sorry, mate. I'm not being an idiot. I'm genuinely not really sure what you're asking there. I teach the course. The 20-hour, 40-module course, which I teach, but it's on demand. It's pre-recorded for you. Obviously, I'm not teaching you live. I don't have time to teach every student live. It's on demand for you. Market looks like it wants to roll here. Are we going to go for Globex now? PDC here. Again, no bids here. You would expect this to snap now and then to go for that gap fill on the ES. What are we doing? Just got to be patient here. PDC held again. ES holding again. ES is unwilling to go for that gap fill, which is wild, really. But I would say it's going to come, especially with the market starting to bleed. The only one now holding on is Apple. We've been down here numerous times today, especially on the ES. It's not breaking new lows, but we've been down here numerous times. I've got no bias right now in this market. Like, you'd expect it to break the lows and go lower. It's showing an unwillingness to do that move. Once it does that move, maybe we're looking for that long rotation back up. What are you doing? What are you doing, market? I'm going to whisper to you now. You just tell me what you want to do. Do you want to go and take Globex? Are you going to go and close the gap now on ES? Come on. If you're going to do it, just do it. It's okay. You can do whatever you want, but please do something. Please do something here. Let's go down the 44s if you're going to do it. Come on, ES. What are you doing? I would not be surprised to just see some random swipe up. That's the kind of market I feel like we're in. We should really come and close the gap now on ES. We should run new lows here and trying to close the gap. What we should do and what the market's going to do, not the same thing. Yay! Come on. Come on. Come and do it then. Come and break down. Really? That's it? That's it? That can't be it. Come on. You didn't even break the low there on ES. You left the double bottom. Come on. Come on, OPEX. This is terrible. Come on. Come and take Globex down. Come and fill the gap. Oh my gosh. Why is it so hard? Thank you, darling. All right. All right, looking better here. Watching ES to fill this gaps. Can we get down to Globex? Come on. It really shouldn't be that hard. Stop messing around. Fill the gap. They're all front running this now. Oh my God. I'm going to snap here in a minute. Come on, spiders, get down. Looking for this to trade into 50s and 40s and then see how far down we can go under this now. Stop messing about. Yes, very, very close to gap fill here. I just want them to slam it. Just slam it. Just be efficient and do it. We traded down to 307s here. It needs to trade down to 305s. And if we let go of 305s, we're going to trade down to, and I'm talking about the ES here, 5,294. On the NQ, we're looking for a break underneath 345s. 345s, right at the bottom of Globex. We've filled the gap. Come on, TradingView. Looking to see what, if and how we act here. 42s. This is like literally pathetic. Oh, God. So we left Globex and we left PDC on the ES. Market all red other than Apple. I still think they should close this gap. What they should do and what they will do is different. Not the same thing. What they should do and what they will do is different. VIX cannot break out of that 3150. We've talked about it this morning. 3150 is key. Break out of that on the VIX and we go and close this gap. And some, I would say. I don't really have a strong bias. I'm just looking for it to do the gap fill so I can think about the next move afterwards. That's all it is, rather than a strong bias. Like I said, I can definitely imagine like some big old swipe up here if it can't move down. But really, we should go and do this gap fill. We should just start breaking down here, just from an efficiency point of view. It's that close to it. It should just start breaking down. We should look to sweep, or at least to take out that Globex low. At least in the NQ, and ES should come and close this gap. It's very, very close to doing it. They keep finding buyers down there, though, so far. Very, very rare that you will not get a complete gap fill on both when it's that close. Yeah, totally, Foster Scott. The TPOs the last few weeks have looked terrible. Other than that gap down and breakdown, they've just been imbalance. And just keeps touching that value area low from yesterday. Starting to attempt to break down on an hourly outside of yesterday, isn't it? It's trying to. All right, are we doing it again? Are we having another go at it here? Are you finally going to do it on the ES? Are you finally going to go for that gap fill? Very close. Here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes. Gap now closed on the ES. Not quite closed on the spiders. Got a little bit longer to go on the spiders if they're going to do it on the spiders as well. Can we at least take Globex here? Globex now at 44, isn't it? Very, very close. Come on. Dying of boredom here. These hourly wicks. 340s, basically. Just give one big swipe. One big swipe down. That's all we've got to do. And then we can think about what next. No, don't just leave it. Overnight lows. Asia, London lows, Crawford. A gap just to PDC, Foster Scott. We gapped up above the 4 o'clock PDC, so just looking for an efficient market. Yeah, exactly, Andres. S&P, the spiders need to trade down into 25.66. They just missed it. They got close. They traded down into 90s, 25.90s. They need a little bit more, but the ES did close it. Still think we can trade lower here. I think we can trade lower here and come and take out that Globex low, and then maybe a little swipe down, and then we'll see if they want to do a bear trap down there, and if so, I'll trade it upside, and if they stay heavy, I'm going to trade it downside. Right now, I'm going to go to sleep. This is terrible. Come on, tap, 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 tapping on Globex. Come on, market. Literally tapped it to the tick there. Definitely lots of buyers down here, folks, because it's showing an unwillingness to move lower. If these buyers give up, though, really, that's it on Globex, is it? It's literally a tap to the tick. That's it, is it, market? I don't think so. Here we go. Come on. Come on, just swipe that one level. It's not that flipping hard. Get under. There's a break. All right, keep trading down now. SPY almost there, folks. Very close on the SPY. Here's better. This is more like it. This is more like it. SPY now filled. Come on, keep coming. The lower the better now at this point. All right, so phase 1 done. Phase 2 is either we stay heavy versus this for that move to fill some of this, or we reclaim it, all right, and shorts get stuck in the hole and we go back upside. Phase 1 is currently done. I did grab a little piece of that last rejection back in, just to here. ES can still take out Globex low. Still got room to go lower on the ES if it wants to, but everything has now closed the gap. QQQ coming into an interesting spot, but it's still very, very thin here on the Qs. Yeah, we've closed, we've touched it. No, we're through it now, Willa, on the SPYs. We're through that 4 o'clock close. So either they stay heavy here and they rotate that market all the way back down towards yesterday's lows, or we trap bears in here underneath Globex. Maybe ES takes Globex and we trap bears in here and then we go rocket upside. One of those two things. We talked about these two things pre-market. These are the things I was looking for pre-market. Nothing's changed. This is what I'm looking for. Video back down towards 100 here. If we stay heavy here, previous day low is not out the question. We are thin in structure here. Not much volume traded back down in these levels. I'd say if ES is going to swipe, it's 94.75 I have marked out. Just going to check that's correct. What's that wick there? Yeah, 90, maybe 93.75. Bear trap zone sort of down there and under it. Initial balance now set for the day, folks. So we can think about auctions versus failed auctions now. Watching this as we come back up towards these Globex levels. Do they sell into these? If we can get up there. Is wash lower. Andres, confused today. Evidence short from the open, missed. Unexplainable long taken loss. For you or for me? My long was here. I was looking for a gap fill close. My long was here. Break even. Another attempt here. Break even. Then I flipped to short, looking for wash down. Because this is the closure. I was looking for shorts to get trapped there. That hasn't happened. So I don't know if you're talking about you or me. I know the trend is down, but this is an area I have to respect. Look left. I have to respect this. I'm not short in here unless we break down under it. So I was looking for that gap fill to be protected right here, and then looking for that squeeze back up, which never came. Same thing can still happen here now for you. I'm not sure where you got long. But yeah, I even said it when I was getting long. I'm like, this is early. It's risky. The stop is straight in the money. I'm not messing around with it. Right, Globex now taken on the ES here, folks. If this stays heavy, previous day low is not out the question. There's lots of volume coming in here in these last few candles and transitions. Watch the initial balances. If we start to reclaim, we know what we can do, potentially. Not out the question, but put a giant move on here today. For me, open back test could be a short. Open back test. Close back test, you mean? Open's way over here, New York Open. Yeah, it's got two opportunities now. A drive up to short into or a reclaim to go higher. Just don't worry about it, Andres. If you've already, realized where you've gone wrong, you've already admitted it. That's more than 90% of traders do. 90% of traders will blame it on something else. You've already admitted where you've gone wrong. You can just put that into practice next week. All right, retesting the initial balance here. I would say initial balance all the way up to PDC is absolutely key for sentiment here. If they keep selling this, we can move down to previous day lows, what we talked about. If they start to reclaim, the options are, like we talked about pre-market, this move down here or a reclaim and this move up here. Those are the opportunities in the market today. So far, heaviness in the tape. The big volume exchanged on that last swipe. This was big volume here. You can see it right down here. Big, big, big volume. Momentum definitely downside right now. Everything has closed the gap. Everything has taken out Globex lows. The question is now, do they want continuation back down to previous day low, or is this an efficient market? This was the move they were looking for, and now they're happy to trade upside. So far, nothing to say that they want to trade upside right now. Momentum is definitely in the downside. Going short, well, you're either looking for initial balance fade or you're looking for a back test of here to go short in, and you need structure really. You want to be careful. This is a sensitive area. You can see support, resistance. How we act here is key for an over-under. And it's not just because of Globex. It's also because of yesterday, right? This yesterday. VIX, by the way, ripped through that 3150, didn't it? Eventually got through and swiped all the way up to 3250, trying to fill its gap here on the VIX as well, by the looks of it. I don't think PDL is out the question here if they're going to stay heavy, especially if Apple starts to lose a bid. Nvidia now almost 4% down. It's at that 100 mark, though. Big, big level, Nvidia. It's trading at 100.33, 100 level, psychological level there. They take out that wick low, we're going lower. Because that's where all the volume was exchanged. Globex low here on the ES. See if this one's for continuation downside. Can we go all the way down? Watch the spread here as well, folks, if it starts to open up. And those of you who are guilty of marketing in, marketing out, be very, very careful if we start opening up on your spread. So far, holding that low where that volume came in. I don't think it can hold for too long, given what I'm seeing in the market right now. NVIDIA almost at that 100 mark, 100.17. Big, big level on NVIDIA. Is that the sort of short covering level? I just think we're going to move lower here. It's not a nice area to be trying to get involved in, but bulls have got trapped this morning. So maybe a push up, maybe some form of bull trap to fail. Definitely covering there into NVIDIA in front of that 100 level. Big, big level this on NVIDIA. There's a battle going on right now on NVIDIA. Here we go. Do we break down? Can we get all the way down to PDL if we start snapping aggressively? Need a breaker structure here. Fantastic. Still battling at that 100 mark. 100.33 on NVIDIA is what I'm watching. They're trading backwards and forwards. There's covering in front of 100. Bulls trying to step in to hold that 100 mark. We just swept that low here. Just be very, very careful if they want to start swiping. We're staying short in this until it proves otherwise right now. So far, we're rejecting the IBL. We're in a trend situation. If we reclaim these, we can think about longs. But until then, we're thinking about how do we get down into this. So far, this way. Watch your size here as well. Not easy day. At least for me, in my mind, it wasn't easy. It started to come together now. Staying heavy underneath Globex, heavy underneath IBL. That is a potential trend day back down to PDL. You want to be taking profit on the way down. They can protect PDL. I'd say that hourly transition into 210 is definitely going to be key as well. So far, all pops failing. What time's Trump scheduled to talk today as well? Let's have a look at that. NVIDIA trying to find a bid, 100.55 now. They're trying to find a bid on NVIDIA. They're desperate to not let that go sub 100. 100.60 now on NVIDIA. Market all red other than Apple. Tesla 1.16% down. NVIDIA 3.80% down. Meta just under 0.5%. Google 2.75% down. Amazon 0.83% down. Microsoft 0.76% down. Apple 1% up. Apple the strong one today. Yeah, he announced this morning they're going to do some. Who is it with? With someone. They've got some talks on tariffs and stuff. Hit my news feed this morning. It's not scheduled, but then it hit my news feed this morning. I forget with which country. No worries. Okay, all the time we're staying heavy, looking for a move down here. Reclaim these areas, potential squeeze back up. And watching that NVIDIA. NVIDIA unwilling to let go of 100. Here's the squeeze. Back through IB high now. What are we going to do? Are we going to start pumping here? I'm in small size just in case it wants to go. Lovely. As soon as that volume came in, I saw Nvidia hold. I'll do pullbacks hold here. And are we going, is this the signature? This is the question. You would need pullbacks. We'd have to hold 91s and really the IB. You'd want to see it hold the IB, which it just did there. So you'd want to see continuation here if it's going to hold the IB. Be very careful though, because I'm expecting chop into these levels here, PDC and Globex. But either we sell from that, if we reclaim that, or I'll think about sizing in for that move. Or maybe this would be better, to be honest. So a failed auction so far, if it can prove itself. Lovely. Here comes Globex. Globex low now. ES trading into PDC. SPY trading into PDC. If they reclaim PDC, I would say this failed auction is absolutely certain. Otherwise, they can trade from IB to PDC, find sellers there. Remember, daily sellers will be looking to sell into PDC. SPY literally tapped it. It went straight up PDC, finding some sellers so far. Are we going to squeeze out here? Definite sellers there on the spiders at PDC. Daily sellers coming in. Battlegrounds here. Again, remember, it's OPEX. I said it's going to be choppy. This is not going to be easy action. So ES stuck and SPY stuck between PDC and the IBL. We have reclaimed the IBL, but we're rejecting Globex right now on the NQ. They will need to put in a higher low here on a lower time frame for any chance of a squeeze out to take us back to PDC on the NQ. And you would probably need to see ES reclaim PDC if it's going to do that move. Watch your ATR as well, folks. Keep saying it. Watch the ATR. Globex hit again. Can it get acceptance back through Globex? The bottom of this orange box. If it does, we'd probably go straight up to here. Looking good. ES going for it. Lovely. I know you like this is counter trend, but this is failed auction trading. This is what I was looking for today. I made it very clear, even pre-market. Go back to before the open, the things I was looking for. This was one of them. Tapping into PDC here on the ES. Already taken some profit out of this. I want to be very, very careful here. I know it's Battlegrounds. All right, SPY rejecting PDC. It has a chance to build a higher low here across these indexes, especially if Nvidia can get going, which it traded basically up to 101, found some sellers back down to 100.65. That 100 over under on Nvidia is absolutely key. Meta now going green, starting to reclaim. Nothing else is anywhere near close to going green on the day yet. This pop can be sold into, so you're aware. If you're taking this counter trend along with me, I've already sold 90% of my position here. PDC here again on the ES and spiders. Big levels. I'm going to keep saying it. These are big, big levels, folks. These are over-under levels. They will dictate sentiment for the session. No one really on the book. Book is very thin here this morning. Another rejection PDC there on the spiders. So they're just stuck right now. IBL to PDC in that Globex low range. That's the range right now. If we get acceptance or failed acceptance underneath, we're going to go upside on a squeeze. If we get acceptance underneath, previous day low is not out the question. All right. Have to be flexible in this market. Why? Because the daily and the hourlies are not necessarily in agreement right now. The daily is still looking to put in a higher low or to hold a higher low, but nothing will be confirmed until we put in a higher high, which is a long way away on the daily, which means that hourly will need to hold key positions. That is the battle right now. It's between multiple time frame traders. They are not in agreement on what we're trying to do here. ES through PDC. Can it find a bid through it, like with strength though? That's the question right now. If it does, VWAP's not out the question. Here it goes. It's desperately trying to get through it. So far, looking like a failed auction. I would be very, very cautious if ES rejects anywhere from let's just call it from 10 to 15 on the ES, which is basically the equivalent of us trading into here on the Qs. And you're starting to see it, sort of V-shaped recovery. You can see this trend starting to break. This is the hold. This level here is key. We base here, we're going to go all the way back upside. We reject into here, we retest the lows, and then maybe we go upside. If we fail those, we go downside. It's just how market structure works. One of these things is going to start playing out. You can go back to the beginning of the video. This exact setup we're getting now is one of the things I talked about. Back under PDC here again on the ES. So one swipe over, finding sellers there. Like I said, watch it into 10 to 15. We got into 0850 there, finding sellers in front of that old pivot. So an old SBR level basically on the ES. The reason I'm watching ES so much today is I feel like it is dictating a lot of the action. It was slow to come and close the gap, and it's the first one to trade back through PDC right now. This action is not for you. You've got to be fast on the trigger. If you don't like it, just back off. Don't worry about it. It's 1 day's trading. If we're trading 5 micros versus 1 micros, how would my stop change given the chop? Where do you find the middle ground so you don't hit your stops, but you're not risking too much? I'd be measuring out the sizing. Right, so if I'm looking for a dip into here, I have to risk this. Right, so I have to think about that 60 points. If 60 points, what's the value of that per micro? If you're trading micro, 1 micro. Right, and how much are you willing to lose on that trade? Basically, is how I do it. So if you're willing to lose $1,000 a trade, you can work out how many micros you can use for 60 points. For example, probably not willing to lose $1,000 a trade, but something like that. I want to see if pullbacks hold here. I'm very, very conscious that ES cannot base through PDC here. It's finding rejection up there so far. I'm normally doing like 2 to 3 on my accounts, but they're comfortably up. Like a lot of my 150Ks are up, 8, 9, 10 grand. So they're comfortably above a buffer. Thank you, Marek, with the super chat. Buying my lunch at the end of every week. I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you. Okay. ES having another go here. I don't love this position for a long yet. I want this to build out a little bit more liquidity. I want to see like a pullback, hold and soak really for me to think about another leg up here. Might not offer it. Here's the squeeze. It's the flag just going straight off these flow zones right now. ES reclaiming PDC. Starting to trade into some of these key levels now on the Qs, aren't we? We're starting to trade into some of these key levels that we talked about. These are the levels where they either start to squeeze upside or the sellers come back in. The big thing here is the ES and PDC. All right, every poke through it on the on the ES is getting sold into so far. We know that this is a big level here. What did we say? 10s on the ES. What did we just trade into there? 0975. All right, 10s to 15s, big level of possible SBR on the ES. Reclaiming those levels, then I think there's more on the table for upside. Starting to hold here. This flag's looking good now. Can ES get going though? That's the thing. Can we get going through PDC? Can we get up to those anchored VWAPs on the Qs? Then we can really think about, do we want to join in and participate? I want to be careful this isn't a trap, but anything that holds... Why won't it draw? What has gone on here? Wow. That was delayed. Anything that holds here has the opportunity for this to be a failed auction to drive up. But this is the chop zone right now. PDC to IBL. That's your chop zone. Great, my like owly bar. Every bar's just disappeared on my charts. Look at that. Thanks, TradingView. The hell is going on? Random. That's never seen that before. All right, so back into chop. To wait and see here. This was a drive up to back test that Globex to go lower. It can absolutely do it. If it wants to trade all the way down to previous day low, like I said, it can do it. This is the chop zone. It will make a decision on what happens next here. ES back into the IB low. We are back into the IB low as well on the NQ. They let go of this. If this was a drive higher to be sold into, we can go way lower. We can go all the way down to previous day low. Nvidia here trading back towards that 100 mark. Massive levels. Massive levels here. Scary stuff, honestly, the way it's moving. But the momentum, definite downside. Definite downside until it proves otherwise. Again, took a little bit of this. If we set something up and base here, I'll think about a long up here. If we can get through that. To be very careful that this isn't... What is going on, TradingView? To be very careful, right, that this here isn't the trap, the back test, to then do this all the way down to here. It's possible. It is possible. Everything is possible right now, given where we're at on the daily and hourly charts. Absolutely everything is possible right now. Lower time frame, they can try and put in a higher low here. Higher time frame, they need to try and hold these levels on the dailies. If they're unable to do those things, there is a move back down to previous day low. If we start reclaiming these levels above, if ES is actually going to get a base above PDC, which it has been unable to do all day, like we said, this is the higher low spot. It will need to hold this, but this will only be confirmed as a higher low if we get above this, and then I'll think about joining. Book is thin. This book is whack. No good. Here goes PDC test again on the ES. So it's just like I'm on repeat because that's all it's doing. It's going IB, PDC, IB, PDC, IB, PDC. NQ's going Globex, IB low, Globex, IB low, Globex, IB low, until it makes a decision. We'll need acceptance above Globex levels. It needs acceptance above 45s to then maybe try and wash these guys out at 65s to get up to 85s. I'll be interested in trades probably above 85s. Until then, I think the chop continues. And this is just absolutely terrible what we're witnessing here today. You just got multiple time frame traders going against each other. VIX trying to find a bid here above its IB high as well. We are still underneath the opening range, and we are stuck at the IBL. We are still printing an inside day in OPEX, an inside day in OPEX. I'm just going to use a bathroom. I'll be right back. All right, the chop continues. We're underneath IBL here. ES is right on its IBL here. Nvidia is right at that 100 mark. You want to be careful if they let go of that, I'd say. Market trying to roll over. Apple giving a little bit back here, but still green on the day. And the chop continues. Either auction or failed auction. They've got to make their minds up here. Again, the positioning of the auction's awkward because of where Globex is and PDC is. And this is decision point. Okay. Yes, holding the IBL again there. The chop continues. Lots of people will be getting hurt in this, I guarantee you. Just let it build out. We can join if and when it becomes clear. If it doesn't become clear, just leave it alone, man. Leave it alone. If it wants to do nasty moves, let it do nasty moves on Globex. We come back Monday. New option contracts. Smoother action. We don't need to worry about this then, do we? I'm looking at these lows right here. So I'll probably just have it set to 7 o'clock right now. Really, I'm just using the whole overnight low right now. On my Ninja Trader, I definitely have it set to 7 o'clock on the new flow zones. Let me have a look. Yes, 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. That's what I have it set to currently. Back to IBL again on the ES here. If they don't hold this, they can go back and test that low of day. If they're going to test low of day, if they break low of day, we're going back to previous day low. If they hold this level, if this is a 2-leg pullback and they manage to hold in here, then they're going to try and do this. This is like, it's such a battle here, and the range is not a joke. This is no joke, folks. From this low to here, 150 odd points. Have to be careful. So far, they're selling everything. They had the opportunity to hold this. They couldn't hold it. All right. This can be a 2-leg if they're going to do a really nasty trap and go. If they're going to hold 100 on NVIDIA. If they're not going to hold on 100 NVIDIA, I'd be very, very careful. ES again has held IBL. All right. So just chopping backwards and forwards. PDC to IBL. PDC to IBL over and over and over and over and over again. They start to let go. If NVIDIA lets go of 100, I would not say that the previous day low, or at least down towards that, is out the question. It is possible if they're going to do that move. Here's the test of the 100 coming up on NVIDIA. Trading at 100.12 right now. Lots of covering in front of that. Why do I care about that? Because that's the weakest one in the market. Is giving sentiment. If shorts start covering into that and we get a short rally, that's why we might start seeing a bit impetus coming back into market buy side. If they let go of that, we might go fully risk off and everyone's like, I'm not touching this into the weekend. Look at ES from IBL straight upside, 1 minute candle all the way back up to PDC like that. Boom, straight upside. Basically 10 points. Retesting. It's just chopping in a 10-point range right now. That's all the ES is doing. It is disgusting. I'm telling you, they put a squeeze on here, it goes mental upside. And they put a fade on here, it can go mental downside. This is not a market I want to get caught in right now. Hey, John Dennis, thank you so much, my friend. Thank you, buddy. Very, very kind. I'm happy to join this long side if and when it proves higher. Not beforehand. Not beforehand. We've had an attempt. I'm not touching it now. This is just a typical Globex option burn kind of session, what we're seeing right now. Nvidia coming back down towards that 100, 100.22. They have not got under that 100 yet. They've tested it a few times. It's a matter of time here by the looks of it. Very close. One little swipe will do it, I think. Low of the day, 100.10. Here it comes. Here it comes. $100 tests coming here on Nvidia. Just using it for a bit of sentiment. I want to see if they tap it and they move upside. Yeah, you're right. And it has the chance to trade up and test it if it wants, doesn't it? Foster Scott. Oh, don't do that. Building some volume down here as well now. Yes, still in between those key levels. Nothing has changed. Still in between IBL and PDC. Nvidia still holding on to 100 for now, just about. Can still hold this level and try and do that trap and pivot up if it wants. It's very, very, very tricky here. So I'm just waiting. If it offers a trade later on, if we start trapping and going upside, then I'll trade it. But until then, I don't want to get caught. It's as simple as that. Nvidia traded to a low of 100.05 there. I'm watching this 5-minute bar on Nvidia. One doesn't seem right. It's set to UTC. What time should Asia Open be set to? If you're on the same as me, what are you using? Are you using kill zones? Is that what you're asking from? Or are you just, I'm not sure what you're using. Most people have Asia set from 8 o'clock to midnight. I've just recently been setting it to 7 o'clock because of that opening print has been bigger. Here's the reclaim here. ES now through PDC. Here we go. Like I said, if they're going to squeeze this, it can be nasty, folks. Grabbing some of this. How far up can we go? I want pullbacks to hold now. Don't go racing too far without me. Don't you dare. Don't you dare go too far without me. Got no size in this. Here we go. Here's the squeezer. I said you got to be careful. Happy to join this if it starts to prove as well and start sizing. Look at ES through PDC. I told you, you had to be careful. If they put the squeeze on here, they've failed to let NVIDIA go sub 100. Oh my God. Oh my God. Here we go. PDC trying to pull some out here. We'll wait to see if we create a bit more volume now. Happened quick, didn't it? I warned you. I warned you. That ES chopping from IBL to PDC. And look at this full rotation now from failed auction IBL to VWAP. Full rotation. This is why we don't short down here. There's the flag. I waited and waited and waited. Once it showed me it's going, I'm joining. Now we want to see this. We want to see some more liquidity built out now. So many shorts are stuck in this. They're just absolutely hammering this upside right now. ES to VWAP. So ES has already completed its IB to VWAP rotation. We talk about that every single flipping day. Can we get some form of pullback here to get involved in, to add some more into? Oh my God, what a screamer. Still got a little one on. Come on. Phenom, what the fuck happened? What happened was we trapped shorts on producing a higher low. All right, there's your change of character. Like we said, if this can hold versus this, it has the potential to go upside. Remember, this is a pullback. We held the IB low and we go straight upside. The trigger for this was this bar here was ES breaking out of PDC, confirming upside auction. This becomes a failed auction. NVIDIA refused to let go of 100. It's already $1 up from 100. Right, just ripped upside off that. So shorts got trapped. That's what happened. Now we trade upside. All the time shorts are trapped. Where do we go? We're already doing the move. We go IBL to VWAP. There's your VWAP. It's done it. Boom. Next VWAP up here. Boom. Full retracement. Boom. All the way up here. Through that, absolute screamer. Nice, Leron. Yeah, Coop. It went so quick, didn't it, mate? It went so quick. So we wait now. If we can build out that liquidity above PDC, I want to get involved again. All right, but that was a big old move. Basically, 100-point squeezer in like 1, 2, 3 minutes. We'll wait to see if we build out liquidity. If we can build out that right shoulder now, we can think about the move for the rest of the day. All right, think about this liquidity here. Here's your failed auction. Here's the move up. Can we build out a quasi or something here to come and take these guys out the game? That's what we're thinking about now. Glad I stayed around for that. All right, so ES rejecting lower time frame algo and VWAP. We want pullbacks. We want pullbacks and we want to see them soak. Nice, Foster Scott. Yeah, you got long on that break all the way up to VWAP. You want to see them soak now. Remember, we can reprice back down towards 10s on the ES that you're looking at. If it wants to reprice back down towards 10s, you'd want that area to sort of soak. Nice, Clint. Good to see you in here. I hadn't seen your name earlier. My fault. So can we get some absorption here? You're seeing the buy signals going. You see it on the flow zones. We're looking for buys now. All right. We're not going to be too ambitious, though, because really this needs to soak and offer some upside. We want dips. We want dips to soak. We want to see that sort of inverse head and shoulder. We want to see an RBS level soak. Remember, we're very, very thin on that squeeze up. We want to be very careful. It is OPEX. If they want to be disgusting, they will be disgusting. But so far, we're soaking PDC. This is nice. Can we get flag continuation? You're not going to let me move anything now, Ninja. Don't do that again. Don't do that where I can't put limits in again today. I'll be very upset, man, if you do that to me. Nice. John Dennis got 52 points. Hey, 52 points is good, my friend. That's good. We like it. We like 52 points. How far can we go? That's the question. Can we build a flag? Can we build some liquidity for that drive higher here? That's what we'd like to see. We're starting to hold PDC. If the flow zones can start to flip as well, even better. Watching ES at VWAP. Looking good here. I want this flag to sort of build out. Deeper pullback would be good. Like a little trap underneath 72 would be nice, and then a reclaim. Now that we put that wick in. VIX basically closed its gap and got absolutely hammered as well. Oh, it's just going to go upside. Don't just go upside without a nice deep pullback for us. Yeah, starting to base on VWAP. If we start to get through those algos, we're going to get going here. But remember, the flow zones are very, very far away. We're extended. That was a squeeze up. They want to come back and reprice that squeeze up, they can. There's one big candle upside that. We would like a bit of structure to be built out here, really. This flag going to get going here without a deep pullback in it, by the looks of it. That higher time frame algo on, lower time frame algo on ES starting to get tapped into. It's the third time today. So far, we've always sold it. It might be that this time we're just going to let go. Remember, VWAP is the possible area that we're trying to trade into on the ES for that first rotation. We would like a deep pullback to get there for the next one. So here's your VWAP off the lows yesterday. This is where buyers took control yesterday. If we reclaim that, we might be able to get up into hit 50s. If we reclaim that, maybe we're going to go all the way upside. It's not out the question. But ideally, we get a nice deep pullback, some form of trap, some form of flag to play into the flow zones. So far, this micro flag's just playing out. It's just absorbing everything. Shorts are well and truly cooked. We take this out, we probably get a straight squeeze upside here. I'd love something down into here. I'd love some structure down into here. Might be asking for too much, but that's what I'd like. Spies look like they want to go all the way back to that IB high now. Biggest win you've ever done, Clint? Lovely. How much did you get there, my friend? Good work. Yeah, squeezes can happen fast, man. It can happen fast. We talked about it. This was like, we talked about the trap around here all morning. Go back to pre-market. Even before we got here, I was talking about that trap level, where they might want to trap for that move up. Reclaiming point of control here as well. Is that 4,400? 4,400? Not sure. 700. 700. There you go. 700. Nice work. Yes, drifting higher here. Shorts are caught here. It's just squeezing higher. We've got a lack of structure. Notice how it's going straight upside. We don't want to buy these highs. We've got a lack of structure. It's going straight upside because shorts are caught. When we see this, what do we like? We like the traps and then the goes. We don't want to be buying up here into key levels, right? Look at this. This is praying to get washed out. I really want a trap under here. Maybe I'm greedy, but that's what I want. This is your New York VWAP right here. It's blue line. VWAP off the opening print. Christy fumbled with TradingView, wasn't able to get the W. TradingView has been giving me so many issues. I've lost confidence in it. What the issues you having? Is it a lag issue or might be a data provider issue? I don't execute on TradingView, so although I have seen some, like even today, we had all data disappear on candles, which is a bit annoying. I don't execute on it, so I don't see too much from it. Remember, we're thin up. It can be thin down if it wants. When you move, it freezes. That's not good. That sounds like a CPU issue as well, maybe. Is your computer up to it? Can it handle it? Graphics card and CPU. Back to PDC, back to flow zones here, back to Globex here, ES. A long way to go if it's going to come down. A long, long way to go. Much, much further up on the ES. Remember, job one was IBL to VWAP. We've done it. It has to make its mind up now. Does it want to go higher? It doesn't have to go higher. It doesn't have to go higher. We come back down into here. We come lower. But really, you'd want to see this protected for the move higher. Really, I'd love something like this to be involved in. But we just have to see what it offers. Relative strength in the ES today for sure. You have to jump to trade evade to close the trade. Oh. Yeah, maybe just executing trade evade though. Yeah, maybe executing trade evade. That sounds like a lag issue or some type of issue between trade evade and trading view. I don't use the two together, so I wouldn't know. I use trade evade in NinjaTrader. Obviously, you can't do that right now if you're on Mac. You can, but you'd need to use... here's the flag, holding flow zones here. Are they going to get this break to the upside? Holding PDC, holding flow zones in this small size now. Trying to join this in long. I want to see this push. ES, new high. Can we get up towards the highs here? Come on, market. Let's not stop. Let's just go straight ripperoo. Didn't quite do the trap I wanted. I was looking for that trap, but I joined it anyway. I want to see this trade up towards VWAP 450s and then keep going if it can. Here we go. Lovely, lovely, folks. Like we said, shorts are trapped, so we're joining longs. Here we go. Don't with the flow zones, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Take a partial here, please. Hold your runners. If this thing wants to go, oh my God, shorts are going to get wrecked. Absolutely wrecked. Wrecked. Understand the traps. Understand the traps. Those of you trading on the new NinjaTrader, oh my God, how easy did those candles make it for you once they shifted? Once they shifted, how easy did those candles make it for you? You know what I'm talking about. Everyone using the new NinjaTrader Pro system. Oh, like Kobe in his prime right now. Absolute beauty. It's how I like to end my week. Let's go. Frank the Tank coming out tonight, baby. Let's go streaking. Let's go streaking. I soaked some beers after that. Oh my God. Sorry, folks. Just nice to have a bit of fun with you after what was a very choppy morning. Nice to have a bit of fun in the chat. All right, for those who don't understand why we're doing this, you're like, what are you doing? How did you know? What was the deal? Where was the trap situation today? It was going to be underneath PDC and underneath Globex. We had to wait for the ES to do that, all right? We had to wait for the ES to catch up. Finally, we get this move, all right? Boom, 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 wash, wash, wash. Here we go. Barely takes this out. Where's our pivot? Right here. What's this? Change of character. What's this? Pull back inside. What's this? Flag. Where are shorts trapped? here. Didn't get the breakdown. All the time we protect this, where are we likely to go? Upside. What's this? Initial balance low. What does this mean? This is failed auction. What does that mean? Squeeze. Where do we squeeze to from initial balance low? View up, view up, view up. Boom. What's this? Reaccumulation. What's this? Buy signal. What are these? Flow zones. Where are we trying to go? View up. Game over. I'm done. Don't need any more than that. Trades like that, when they set up, are absolutely beautiful. I was frustrated yesterday. I was away from my desk for a similar kind of thing. Yesterday we had an auction instead of a failed auction. What's this? Consolidation. What's this? Sell. Big sell candle. This is telling you. Momentum. Sell side. What's this? Bear flag. What's this? IBL. What do we do when we reject IBL? We auction. What are these guys? Trap buyers. Where do we auction down? Keep auctioning. Keep auctioning till we hit daily level. Right? That's all you need. If you understand flow zones and initial balances, you will get trades every single day if you can be patient enough to wait for them. Why am I not buying any more that were up here? Because this is a massive move. 319s up to 445s. That is a monstrous move. What would I like to see now? Traps. I would need to see traps for me to get involved. Go back to the very beginning of the day. We talked about traps underneath these levels, and we talked about reclaims of these levels for here. I even said it on the stream. Reclaim for 380, we trade to VWAP. Just catching up with the chat. Frank the Tank. Yeah, Frank the Tank's in town tonight, baby. What's the new Ninja Traders candles? It's the flow zone system for Ninja Trader, all right? It just repaints based on structure, all right? It repaints based on structure. So right here, maybe you can see this, guys. I don't know. All right, so we were in sells. We have this big buy signal. We moved to green candles. You were only thinking about buys when we're in green candles. It's as simple as that. Just makes it very easy. Avoids temptation to force yourself into the market the wrong way. Still bullish here, but the easy move has been done. We can still build out liquidity. I'm looking left. All right, looking left, and I'm thinking about how can we use liquidity right here. So we can use this to try and get up into here. We run these stops, then we run these stops, then these guys, then these guys. That's very much on the table. Very much on the table. If we keep rejecting here, I would be careful of a two-leg that fails and we get stuck down here. I'm not interested in shorting up here. But if we fail and we start to get stuck down here, we can run these stops, and that will allow us to get down to there. These are the trades for the rest of the day. There's always two setups. Always, 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 and if, or all situations. Those are the two trades. I would remain bullish right now until it proves otherwise. But just remember, we are in what? Range rotation. We are in what? Inside daily levels. Previous day high, previous day low, previous day close. This is an inside daily bar. All right, we expect this kind of move when we're inside. On top of that is OPEX, just to make it even more tricky for you. If I miss to place an order, will there be another good level to place an order long? Yes. Maybe if it traps under here. All right, so if you see something come down, reprice this, come back in, this could potentially be a long here for an upside move. If they trap more shorts in here, remember, all shorts, everyone who was short here got blown out. How do we know? Look at this volume. Look at this move. This is shorts covering. Ouch, 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 ouch. Stubborn ones went add, blown out. Now you need more shorts trapped in to go higher. Remember, we need one side trap to move the other way. It's how the market works. You need to always think about who's trapped. What happened here this morning? Where we got long. All right, and I didn't get all out there and I stopped break even here. I actually lost a tick on that, or a tick or two by the looks of it. Most bulls up here who were not strict enough to stop out then got trapped. How do we know they got trapped? All right, if you're a buyer up here and we trade underneath, come back in, they sell. Underneath, come back in, sell. This is buyers getting out break even. So this is buyers trapped. This is sellers trapped. This is the range from using shorts that are trapped to get to buyers that are trapped, right? And now we need to create more shorts that are trapped if we want to go higher. If not, we're going to trap buyers up here, come down here, base out a bit, make sure that they're trapped, sufficiently trapped, and go lower. That would be like yesterday's move. There's always one side trapped in the market. Your job is to understand who's trapped. Is the location good? Is the momentum good? Can I take a trade which is going to pay me to a good probable level? We're always trading level to level. I got that second last move. The review of the trades and movement was very helpful, although I probably have to rewatch a couple of times. Yeah, no worries. We can go over that together as well, buddy. No worries. I said to Brad, like, maybe the three of us can do a little Zoom or something. Peter Ilias, is that a high five? I think that's a high five. High five, bud. Clear wisdom today. I would like to think there's clear wisdom every day. I try my best anyway. All right, now just back off the market. You've had a good move there. You had a really good move there. Now you just back off, right? Back off the market. We're still, as Foster Scott will be talking about, because he loves these areas, we're still trading underneath a value area low. We swiped up, got through POC, went straight upside, found sales. We're still trapped underneath those hourly transitions. Anyways, underneath point of control on this current session, we're underneath current value area low on the SVP. In terms of the TPO, we're trading right at POC and we're inside value. And we repriced those single prints there on the TPO. I don't know if any of you are using them. This single print here, repriced this morning, traded down. This is considered, which is odd, and we've been like this the whole time, another balanced range. It's getting ridiculous. Balanced, maybe double distribution, balanced, balanced. This isn't balanced, double distribution. Failing this, we could rotate, but we're not failing this. We're trying to reclaim. If we get through this TPO, we're going to come back up to here, aren't we? I'm just watching something like that. It might not be today, maybe next week if I'm lucky. Otherwise, this. We come back down to where the volume is. All right, so we fail under this. We said this is big, big levels. We fail under these levels. We can get right back down into it. We will have some news events which will start to move the market for these. So again, repricing what? Squeeze. Remember, there's no structure in here, so it has to reprice. We need to see, are there actual any bids in this market? Like I said, easy moves been and gone. If they don't come in and find bids here, you don't bid into weakness, right? If they don't bid here, then you won't get this move. You'll just get this. That's why I don't bid into weakness. I want to play momentum. I want to see people much bigger than me come into the market. Squeeze up all the way back down now. Do they find bids down here for that trap? Or was that the squeeze? Squeeze over and we just go, hey, see you later. We're going to go for new lows. So really, the SPY's got to make its mind up. Is it looking to build that right shoulder, inverted head and shoulder out to go back to IB high? Okay, or is there a lack of buyers on the tape today? And are we thinking that previous day low is actually the target instead, and they've just done that big old squeeze out to trap buyers at the highs? Both the things like we talked about, both things are possible. Both things are possible. You can do something like this right now. This looks like expanding. I don't really like it when they're like these, to be honest, but that's your range. If they reclaim all those upsides, ooh, if they get back up here, this is the trap. If they get back up here, shorts have piled in here. If they get back up here and start basing, this becomes very much possible. All right, so this level here is key now. You can see kill candle there. They reprice through that and base. Oh my God, I would not want to be short on it. I'd be getting very, 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 very squeaky bum. Let's call it that. Due to that last hourly close, thinking PDL. Yeah, we'll see. I'm not convinced, mate. I'm not convinced. I think they've got caught. They've caught shorts offside a little bit here, but like you said, we'll see. Normally, I'd say yeah, but I'm just looking at that daily. I'm thinking, do they really want to let it go all the way back down on a daily? So big levels coming up here. View up here again on the ES. Decision time in this market, I would say. It's going to have to make a decision. This is the trap we were talking about. If it starts to reclaim these levels, these shorts are going to get very, very upset because they've just piled into it. And we've repriced. And if we reclaim, we can go upside here. Back towards what we're at now. New York view up. These are big, 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 big levels. Big old levels. Trading PDC. Shorts will need to create a lower low here. Failure to do that, they will get stuck. If they fail to create a lower low, they will get stuck. We will drift upside and hurt them. Target for upside move will be that initial balance high. Or at least it would be view up for 0.1 on the NQ, and then it would be IB high. VIX still in its IB range here. Oh, it's squeaky bum for these shorts. I'm telling you, they got to save this. They have to sell this, otherwise they're going to get hurt. They have to sell this, these shorts, otherwise they're going to get hurt. It's absolutely key for them. They need a lower low here on the short side. If they don't get that lower low, they are going to get hurt here. Starting to see everything flatten out a bit. Meta green, Apple green, everything else still red, by the way. We go red to green on these tech stocks. Oof, is anything close? Tesla 0.5% away. Amazon 1/3% away. Microsoft very, very close. Oh my God, if I was a short right now, I'd be getting really nervous. Here we go. Are they going to break their balls? Are they going to break their balls? Got wrong, 330. Where's 330? In this dip down into here. Very nice. Make sure you're paying yourself a little bit into view up. You want to see this hold here to do this move now if you're long. We talked about it, didn't we? Trap down here. This kind of move here. You will need to see it hold. Shorts will try and pile in here to create a lower low because this is how they get their rotation. They need this to fail, lower low, come outside of this for rotation. If they don't get it, then the short squeeze is on. You need to see it hold these big candles when you've gone upside. Make sure you've paid yourself. If you took that long from 30s into VWAP, that's a great move. It's basically 70, 60, 70 point move. Make sure you are paying yourself if you took that. It is decision time for the market. We have different time frame traders trading against each other here. Now or never for shorts, I think. Can they get that close underneath that old low we just pivoted up for, underneath PDC? Can they get that move? Failure to do so, I'd be very worried if I was a short. If they get that move, then I tend to think with Foster Scott, there's a good chance that they get down to PDL. That's what I'm saying. We had the low-hanging fruit. We took the low-hanging fruit. It's why I'm not in anything now. I'm just waiting. I'll let these guys battle it out. If there's something clear and obvious, if I'm like, yeah, we're going PDL, I can always join in. If we're going to get outside that IBL. If we're going to reclaim PDC and start to base up higher for a potential squeeze, I can join in for that. What I'm not going to do is join in where these longs and these shorts are battling it out. I'll let them create the liquidity and we can join in after. We had an absolute banger of a trade there. We do not need any more. Be humble, be thankful for what you got. I'm worried too being long. Well, I don't know where you're long from. I don't know who called it. They were long from 330. I mean, they basically bottom tick that. If you got 330 up to 95, you should have taken profit. Should have locked something in because it's nothing's confirmed until we do this. Nothing confirms long until we do this, which is why I'm not taking it. It needs to build this out. Looks good. Looking good. You got to watch ES at VWAP here. PDC here. These are big levels. These are battle zone levels right now. Shorts are starting to get scared here, I'm telling you. Measuring this out. Here we go. I'm in small size here just in case it's going to go. Oh my God. We talked about it. We talked about it. Don't say I didn't warn you. Here we go. Here we go. Oh my God. Let's keep going here. These shorts are cooked. Absolutely cooked, man. Again. I mean, small size, locked in some profit, stop into break even there. If this holds this pullback, I'll think about considering more in. But again, I'm scalping my way out until it proves. Holding pullback very nicely there into 90s. You want to see it hold PDC. You want to see ES hold VWAP. Any failure of VWAP, not interested. I've locked most in. Runners only here. Goes or it doesn't go. Almost knocked me out. Almost knocked me out. Almost knocked me out. You're going to knock me out. Are you going to knock me out? I'm at 80. I'm literally at 80 on a break even. Ah. Gone. All right, let this shake out again for a little bit here. Long's had 2 attempts there to get up. Failed to break the high. I still think it looks good, but you're building out wedge. Still think it looks good. Oh, it probably knocked me out to the tick. I was on this candle's high. Oh my God. Still looks good here. We talked about this move here. That's what you want to see. Up here's target. TP1, TP2. Respect this as well. Remember, it might build out here a while. Why? We built it out here a while earlier. I feel better. All the time we're above here for bulls, it's better. Need to be above these levels here. Do not want to be down here. This is where shorts can take control. This is good for one trap, but you don't want to be basing down here. That's a problem. That's underneath their probably average because that opens the door. We need to base up here for that. And I'm not in this now. Got knocked out. Can always rejoin back in. Reclaim. It was just straight on the reclaim. As soon as we did this, I joined in this squeeze. As soon as we reclaimed these levels, I knew shorts, right? If you think about it, shorts here, if they don't get a break of structure here, what did I say? They need a break of structure. They need this to wash. Where's their stop? Here. So what happens when we take their stop out? market buys. All right, when a short stop gets triggered, market buys. So I'm joining to join their pain. That was all it was, joining their pain. Whoop. Flow zone's holding. We're still in a buy. Nothing telling me to short. I'll get short down here, not up here. I'm using people's pain for the moves. That's what I'm always doing. I'm either using where they're trapped and going for the move, or I'm using their stop run to just take a quick scalp up. And there's nothing to say that couldn't have kept going. That could have been the move that kept going. VIX approaching 31s again. I want to see VIX start to break down here. Market not turning though. You've only got Apple and Meta green so far. Everything else still red. That's probably it for me for the day. I have a feeling I've got like 20 minutes left, 19 minutes left. One very good trade. Two, they were actually small losses. They're break even, but I did get slipped a bit on them. And one okay scalp, so not bad. And the winner's way bigger than the losers, as in 10 times bigger. Keep your losses small. Be willing to cut the trade, folks. Had to be flexible and nimble today. We'll have to still be flexible and nimble today. Because all we're doing right now, we cannot get acceptance inside the old opening range. We are still inside the initial balance. We are still inside the previous day. We are still inside the previous week. So chop will continue until it proves otherwise. Here you go. Shorts need to get a breakdown underneath these swing points. Shorts need to liquidate these guys here. This is what they need to do. They need to get down here for this move here. And then these liquidation events can get us down into this if the shorts do it. Failure to get under here for shorts is a problem. Like I said, we are starting to wedge. You can see it. We're starting to trap both sides. Because if you've got shorts piling in here and bulls piling in here, you've got a series of lower highs and you've got a series of higher lows. This is a problem. This is where people get stuck. Not like this. Right, we're not in one of these right now. We are not in one of these right now. Look at the pattern, how it's different. This is messy. Pretty clean. Pretty clean. Messy. How do we know it's messy? What's happening here? Everything's getting tight, isn't it? Momo, deep pullback, anchor VWAP, all tight. PDC, Globex, everything's tight. It's Battlegrounds. Battlegrounds. All right, anyone that's new and interested in doing the Flow Zone course, I've currently got a sale on. It will end Monday. All right, it will end Monday morning. So you got the weekend to grab it. $100 off. It is a 20-hour course. Over 40 different modules there. You get the Flow Zone indicator for TradingView, the one I'm currently teaching on, for free. And you also get Discord for life for free. All right, one-time fee, $549. You also have, I think, 24 hours left, maybe a little under, for the Traderify sale. So if those of you who need accounts, this is your last day to do it with Traderify. 30% off all accounts, 40% off for first-time buyers. My biggest advice would be to take the growth accounts, right? They're the easiest accounts to do. Unless you're a proven trader and you want the straight to funding, go with the growth accounts. They're the best value, no unrealized gain, trailing drawdown. Apex also has a sale on right now, 80% off all accounts, $50 resets. And the bigger accounts, 150, 250, and 300K are all under $60. And Take Profit continues to have its 30% off for life sale with no activation fee. The benefits of trading with Take Profit are you can take daily withdrawals. If you want to learn more about those prop firms, I have a video pinned to my YouTube page right now. You can go and check it out. The chop continues. 15 minutes left until we get to lunch. I am just happy to be green on a day like today. Always happy to be green, but very happy to be green in OPEX days. All right, Trump is talking at midday, folks, just so you're aware. All right, so 15 minutes until he starts yapping away. I'd be very, very cautious about being in a trade right then. Fed bar talking now as well. Thank you, Douglas. Appreciate that. All right, here's the shorts opportunity. They need a break of structure. They need to start producing lower lows here. And then they need to get outside that initial balance. The ES looks much, much stronger. Still well above PDC, well above IBL. This is still internal range. These are kind of the levels. Can still hold this to go higher. Break underneath. That's when I think a better short opportunity might come. Remember, I'm never looking to pick top or bottoms. Looking to join when it's clear and obvious, and only then. What kind of course am I creating with a Ninja Trader? It's not a course. It's listed as a course, but it's the Ninja Trader Pro System Indicator. And the lessons are just like how to install it and how it works. It's not a course as per se. But if you want the indicator, you have to buy it through the course. So they just call it a course on Teachable. I don't know why anything I sell gets classed as that. And I had to do it as that to be able to provide some lessons on how to install it. The other way I was doing it, it just wouldn't let me add any videos or lessons in. So that is why. It is currently available to the public. I haven't done a hard launch, but it is available. $500 for life or $299 for a year's subscription for it. And I did just get a new version of the algo sent to me while we're on stream, which I'll have to back test, see how it's firing. So again, shorts failed to get a break of structure there. The chop remains here. I would say your levels are basically 420 to 340, so 80 points of range. This is effectively your range right now. You're trading back and forwards in here. Bulls take control, the squeeze up into here is possible. If shorts take control underneath these levels and they get breakdowns, trade to low of day and to previous day low is possible. Until then, it's going to build the liquidity. It's trading backwards and forwards. We did a lesson on this the other day. Nice moves, and here you can see it's chopping around. This is building liquidity. On a day like today, it's burning options. Any questions, folks? I know I'm not going to get another trade now. Even if it sets up, I'm not taking it. I'm done for the day. 10 minutes left. Into the weekend, going into the weekend nice and green. I am definitely not forcing my way into anything in this market now. Yeah, exactly, Amalabi. I'm the same as you, closing out for the week. It's been a great week. It's been a great week. For a short week, I'll take it. You're welcome, buddy. Have a fantastic long weekend, whatever you're up to. What's everyone doing for this long weekend? Anyone got plans? Shorts trying to take control here. They're trying to get that breakdown. They are trying to get that breakdown. I don't know. I haven't really got any, to be honest. I've got a friend's birthday Saturday night. I've been invited out to Venice Saturday night with some friends. Might do that. Not really drinking too much at the moment. I did have some whiskey last weekend, but I'm trying to be good. If I go out with mates, Frank the Tank will come out. Those hangovers are killer. I'll watch the F1. Where's the F1 this weekend? I haven't even looked. Yeah, it's on top of the course. If you do the course, you get a discount, though. But everyone who's done the course and has Ninja Trader has paid for it. It's worth it. Like, it's very, very powerful. It's definitely worth it. Obviously, I would say that I built it, but it is. I put a lot of hard effort, time, money, 3 or 4 different coders. An awful lot of time and money went into getting this one right. Reaction there again. They're bidding up again. They are unwilling to let this low go. The chop continues, folks. All right, shorts will be getting frustrated. Bulls need a breakout of this to get back towards high of day. Nvidia still holding 100. ES back towards VWAP. It's just very, very choppy here, folks. Don't upset yourself. Don't give any of your day back here. Notice I've backed right off. We had one banger of a trade. That's enough. If this wants to squeeze, fantastic. If they want to let it fail, fantastic. I'm not bothered. Jeddah this weekend. Awesome. Yeah, smash that like button for me, folks. I'll probably do a lesson for you this weekend as well. Maybe I'll do one on... Yeah, maybe I'll do one on the TPOs, because a few people have asked me. Crawford sold your house and bought another one. You're moving. Congratulations. Enjoy. Christy heading out, made a couple of nice wins today. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Thanks, Alex. Thank you, Christy. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining all week long. Hopefully you learned something with me this week. Hopefully you made some money. Lots of you definitely made some money the last few days. Yeah, Tyson, I'm buzzing with that, mate. I am buzzing with that. You might have seen in the bar chat and Discord, I was getting a bit antsy when Saka... I don't know what you're doing, mate. In a Champions League quarterfinal, you do not do that. You just absolutely bang the ball when you get a PK. Try to be all cute with it and miscued it. And oh my God, if we'd lost and he'd missed that PK that early on, I'd be very upset. BU. Everyone needs to give a big round of applause for BU, you know. BU had a tough session a few weeks ago, probably 3 or 4 weeks ago. Took a week off to consolidate, get the mind right, came back and has just been on an absolute hot streak. It just shows sometimes you just need to like step away, reevaluate, build the confidence again and go again. Super proud of you. Good work. Take care, Tyson. Please do not get chopped up in this, folks. Do not get chopped up in this. It's OPEX. If this is your first time trading OPEX, welcome to OPEX. You know, you get an OPEX in an inside week, an inside day, an inside IB, just about outside opening range. We are rejecting the opening range, which is at PDC. The opening range low right now is right here. Right, that's your opening range. First 15-minute bar. Where's 9:30? This is basically your opening range. We are so far failed to get acceptance above inside it, so we are rejecting it. It's trying to get this rotation, but if they cannot break down here, we are going to keep doing this until they've got enough trapped. And either they get enough bulls trapped to do this, or they get enough shorts trapped to do this. They can also be nasty and do this all day. Now, I don't think they'll do that on the basis that the man with the orange face is talking in 4.5 minutes time. So I would imagine they will break out of this. But just be smart. What's he going to say? Can't wait to hear. We have the best economy in the world. Flowzone is the best, makes the best indicators, teaches the best class. He told me himself, this is what's going to happen in the market. Sorry, Christy. Just ruined your day with my impression there. Oh, he's definitely going to attack Powell, because it was only about 20 minutes ago I didn't even say it. He tweeted asking people to vote on whether they should remove the Fed. Yeah, let's remove the Fed. Let's just increase borrowing. Let's just increase the borrowing on our debt forever and ever and ever and see what happens. Yeah, exactly. You know what? While we're at it, let's just get rid of money. It doesn't mean anything, None of it matters anymore. We're living in a sim anyway. Who cares? It's all bollocks. You're welcome, Willa. You're welcome, everyone. I hope you've had a really good week with me. Before you all sign off, lots of you are starting to leave now. Before you sign off, give me an idea if you're green on the week. I'm not interested in today, but on the week. So post me a G if you're green on the week. Post me an L if you're down on the week. And post me maybe a 0 if you're neutral on the week. Hopefully lots of you are green on the week. It's been a tough week, but it looks like lots of you are up. Andrew H, green on the week. Caladin, Clint, Jacob up 1, TR, Famtab, Christy, John, Thumper, BU, Brian, just a bit. Hey, it's fine, mate. Marek, Omalabi, Nick, Phenom, Trentry, Trader MBD, Donna, Famtab's obviously doing well. Steak for dinner, he said. Michael Pope. That's a good decision, Crawford. If you're not feeling well, good to not trade. Ramus, green on the week. I think I saw a couple of L's in there. Hopefully nothing too bad. Where was the L's? Let's have a look here. Andrus. Andrus talked about it earlier. Forced along earlier. I think that was you, Andrus, unless I've mistaken. Trader MBD with an L. Hopefully nothing too big. Learn the hard way this week as I go through the course. Say, as long as the lessons are cheap, learn the hard way. Unfortunately, with trading is one of those things. I can tell you guys what to do. I can tell you the lessons. I can beg and beg and beg you not to make all the mistakes I made coming through. But unfortunately, with trading, you've got to fall off that bike and break your arm a few times. It's more often than not, I'd say 99% of traders, they need to learn the hard way. And why do you need to learn the hard way? Well, you need to be able to reinforce your brain that, hey, I don't want to do that again. You need that pain to be like, I'm not doing it again. And more often than not, this market will let you get away with something a few times and you build a bad habit and you need that little slap on the wrist to tell you. Nice L, green. Trentry said, green Monday to Wednesday, except today took a loss. Just judge yourself on the week. Here comes Trumpy boy. You can tell it's Trump talking. Look at that. AASD, I just flew over the handlebars. It happens, mate. Crack your head open a few times. A little A&E appointment. Bandage yourself back up. Get back on the bike again. Yeah, risk management, exactly. Risk management. So swipe up, sold back into. Mike, I was green 3 days in a row, then overconfidence killed me today. That what's great is you understand that, so journal it. So next time, have a look at what your longest winning streak is. Journal when that overconfidence comes in. And then next time when you go on that winning streak, maybe you get day 3 green and you're like, I'm sizing down today because this is when I do something stupid. Ramos, thank you for keeping us safe, especially on hard days like today. No worries, buddy. Crazy jumps, yeah. Maybe they popped it to sell it. Who knows? I have no idea. I don't care. I'm not trading this. This is slop and chop. With POTUS at the helm talking, you're just asking for trouble, aren't you? You're just asking for trouble. Who knows what he's going to say? And I would not be surprised if we skip around a bit and the spread starts to open up and you get some horrible moves. There's no one really on the book. Let's have a look. I'm going to give you a call out on the book before I leave for the day. Let's have a look. You got some selling into 425 lot. These are all small lots, by the way, folks. Up at 500, 43 lot. Up at 600, very, very small. Downside, where's the bids? Anyone stacking on the bids? Not really. 250, 275. A little bit under 300, but again, very, very small. 15 lot, 25 lots. Nothing of serious size. He starts right now, Andres. Started right now. Probably why you got that swipe on the new hourly bar. All right, folks. Job done for the week. High fives to everyone who got it done this week. You survived. You survived another week of tariffs. I'm going to leave you with this thought before I go. I'm going to do this just in case we want to clip it. This market is not easy, okay? It's not an easy market. It's not an easy market for new traders. It's not an easy market for experienced traders. It's not an easy market for hedge funds. This is a hard market. People are getting liquidated in this market all the time. It's why the moves are so big. We do those huge drop down. You get everyone who's been bullish the last few years gets liquidated, then they chase in short and we get the huge rip back upside. We are now in a liquidity building stage in this market. You can see it in the daily chart. We are pinned between some key levels. It's either going to produce that higher low and try and pivot up for a higher high, or it's going to fail and we rotate back to low of the year. Be kind to yourself. It is not an easy market to trade. Your job right now, while we get through all of this tariff information, should be survival. We talk about it in the Discord all the time. Defense, survival, all right? The best teams at any sport in the world win because they have good defense, not because they have a good striker or a good this or a good that. If your defense isn't good, you will end up losing. So practice defense, size down, watch your positioning, take money out the market when it offers it for you. Try and take those A+ or at least an A setup when it's there. When it's there and it's obvious, we attack. We take our money, we get off, we go and enjoy long weekends like this weekend. All right, everyone, have a fantastic Easter. I will be back Monday. I'll try and post an informational video for you over the weekend, maybe on TPO if I can get it done. Big love, everyone. Congratulations for making it this far. I'll see you Monday.